it means a lot.
We were talking off the air when you were sitting here that there's certain kinds of groups that the kids will scream and run after, but you know it's because of the fashion, the haircut, the face or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's other groups that they really care for because the music and the lyrics are offering something. And it seems that you're definitely in the foremost of the latter category.
Yes, well, I wouldn't want to be in any other category, really. Even if it meant I'd be enormously successful, I'd make millions of pounds, I wouldn't want to be in any other category. If people don't really accept me as I want them to, then I'll just go and sell ice cream.
Was there a Morrissey for you growing up that you would have...
No, not really. There were certain people who I got very excited about, but no, not really.
I mean, if James Dean had been around, if he hadn't died in that Porsche, would you have chased after him, do you think?
Well, I may have done, yes. I may have considered it, yes. That's all I can say.
Now, I've got a couple of the traditional interview questions that I have to get out of the way before we can, relax. First is album and tour.
Well, these are the questions, forever on my lips also. I don't have an album. I'm about to release a single, and I don't have a tour because I don't have a group at the moment. So I'm scrambling around for musicians, and when I find them, I really do want to tour. But until then, no, I won't be playing.
When you look for musicians, where do you look and what are you looking for?
Well, it's very
hard. Says he over the radio, knowing that there's kids with guitars out there going...
Yes, I know. It's very hard because I don't particularly look anywhere. I just simply have to meet people throughout the course of living, throughout the course of life. I can't advertise and meet people in the usual way. And I live a reasonably reclusive lifestyle, so it's very hard. And that's why at the moment I don't have a group lineup.
Now with the album, you've been releasing so many consistently good singles.
Yes.
Ouija Board, Interesting Drug, Last of the Famous International Playboys. The B-sides also have a lot of thought to them rather than, let's just slap something on the back of this.
Yes.
Have you thought about putting together a singles album?
Yes, I do think about this, and I think it's something that the English record company want to do. But obviously releasing singles in England is something quite different than here. And I do enjoy singles. Singles were the things that really made me interested in music in the first place. I was a singles collector, and it was important to me to have the original labels and so forth. I'm not really an albums person, an albums fan, so I love releasing singles.
How do you feel when you travel around, when you're in America or England or Europe, and you see the Morrissey or the Smiths bootlegs coming out? Because, I mean, people will put them together just because there's nothing available.
Well, sometimes I don't mind if they're good, and sometimes I buy them. I know you're supposed to be very annoyed because people make lots of money and none of it comes to you, but that doesn't really bother me. I'm very glad that there is enough interest in the Smiths for there to be bootlegs and so forth. So it's just really pleasing.
Do you collect your own records? Do you have it like a
yes,
complete...
I do, because I quite like them.
Yeah. Do you find yourself listening to them ever, or do you just catch them on the radio occasionally?
I never ever catch them on the radio. But yes, I listen to them all the time.
Now, we've had people over the years that will call us before they go to England, and they'll say, I'm going to England. Where's their good in London? I'll tell them, I don't really live there anymore, Hippodrome. Then they'll say, I'm off to Manchester. Right. I'm going to see Morrissey's home and all that.
Yes.
And I get at least 4 or 5 people every single year that will come in then with photographs of your house and your old school.
Yes.
I mean, this is beyond just regular fanship.
Yes, it is, thank God. But I think it's quite largely because of the way I behave, and because that they know the reality of how I feel about myself as an artist. And I think if you are an artist who conveys a great deal of love and devotion and so forth, that's what you have in return. And if you don't, if you just slap a video together and you do the cliched rock and roll thing, then you just get the cliched fans. So I think they secretly know how I feel, and they know I'm serious, and they know I'm here for a good reason. I hope.
I think so. Now, we're going to play a number of songs, both from the solo work and from work with the Smiths.
Right.
And I want to play, actually, I wasn't going to play this one right now, but I'm going to play it now if I could. Probably one of my favorite songs, and the lyrics...
I'll probably disagree with you.
Yeah, well, the lyrics is amazing. When I heard this, it dragged me back to the age of 15.
Yeah.
And on
So
that...
far.
Yeah, so far. And that date that you go on, that is so perfect, that you just don't think life could get any better than this. And that's the song There Is a Light That Will Never Go Out.
Oh, yes.
So many people hear this and think it's depressing, when it's in fact, I think, completely the opposite.
Well, the right people like it.
So do you like this song, looking back at it over the years?
I love it, yes.
Was there a moment like this in a darkened underpass that the chance had come?
Far too many moments, yes. There still are.
Okay, here's The Smiths, There Is a Light That Will Never Go Out in KROQ.
Take me out tonight, where there's music and there's people and the young and the light. Driving in your car, I never want to go home, because I haven't got one anymore. Take me out tonight, because I want to see people and I want to see light. Driving in your car, oh please don't drop me home, because it's not my home, it's their home and I'm welcome no more. And if a double-decker bus crashes into us, to die by your side is such a heavenly way to die. And if a 10-ton truck kills the both of us, to die by your side, well, the pleasure, the privilege is mine. Take me out tonight, take me anywhere, don't care, don't care, don't care. And in the dark and underpass, I thought, oh God, my chance has come at last. But then a strange fear gripped me and I just couldn't ask. Take me out tonight, oh take me anywhere, don't care, don't care, don't care. Driving in your car, I never want to go home, because I haven't got one all alone. Oh, I haven't got one. Double-decker bus crashes into us, to die by your side is such a heavenly way to die. And if a 10-ton truck kills the both of us, to die by
They're one of my favorite songs. That's one I always like reach for when we got a spare space. And Michelle goes, "Oh, don't play that song again. You're always playing that one.
Favorite.
Play another one. Play another one from the Smiths, or play another one from Morrissey." Now, in addition to songs about love, requited and otherwise, you're very well known. We just spoke off the air to a friend, Wendy, about meat and rather not eating meat. Meat is murder.
Yes.
How long have you been a vegetarian, and what point in your life did you suddenly say, "Oh my goodness, I shouldn't eat my friends"?
Oh, well, I've been a vegetarian for a very long time, since I was roughly 11 or 12. And I think before that time I didn't quite I thought meat was something you just simply bought in a supermarket, packaged. I didn't quite realise that it was an animal that could be quite lovable and it could be almost be a pet. And then I saw a documentary on television, which we so very rarely see, on the whole abattoir syndrome, and that was as far as I needed to see, really.
I saw a thing last night, I think on CNN, when I was flipping around the channels late at night, about animal research.
Yeah, I've seen a few things while I've been here. One which has been very good and one which has been very bad. But at least the fur issue is quite important here, which is really encouraging.
Yeah, and slowly the fur sales are starting to go down.
Oh, in England it's just completely collapsing, which is great news. But obviously with the meat industry, there's so much... There's so many people, governmental people, stopping any kind of vegetarianism promotion that it's really very hard. So I think it's going to be really hard with meat.
Yeah, now this brings up a question which must be very complicated for you. I know in the past that you've been quite vocal against movements such as Band-Aid, the coming together of groups. Yeah. But if there was a legitimate coming together of someone trying to raise awareness about meat or animal abuse or something that you were very concerned about, would you contribute your time or not?
I would, but I find it quite hard to believe that it would ever really happen. With other, shall we say, movements like Band-Aid and so forth, I find that the celebrity distracts from the core of the situation or the message, and I don't like that very much. And also, I feel that situations like Ethiopia, etc., could quite easily be solved, but they're not solved for specific reasons. And I find concerts and benefit records and so forth quite pointless. They're okay while they're in fashion, but when they go out of fashion, nothing really changes.
Now, talking about the big concerts, you've done a few in the past, like I think Glastonbury, etc. How do you feel about doing that, where you're performing on a bill where there's maybe 15 different groups, and so the audience is fragmented rather than being an audience that would relate to?
Well, it's quite dodgy, because conceivably some members of the audience don't really like you very much. And in those instances, they might throw things or let you know that they don't like you. So I much prefer just playing to an audience which I know has specifically came to see, hear the songs I'm singing.
And so that makes it easier for you as the singer. You don't have that. Some of the people will say, "Well, I don't mind because I like to try and win over a hostile crowd."
No, I wouldn't be interested in the hostile crowd, really. No, not really.
Okay, we're going to pay a couple of bills here, and then we'll get back and chat with Morrissey and take your phone calls at KROQ.
Stop and go, open, close, back and forth, rush, left, right, work, toss and turn, get up, go to sleep. Over again, work out.
We do the same old thing.
Left, right, rush.
But if you want, you can break away. Del Taco can change your day.
And speaking of change, you're going to have a lot more of it, especially in your pockets, because Del Taco has new low prices. So ounce for ounce, you get more for your money on many of our best sellers. Tacos, burgers, nachos, even our deluxe Del Beef Burrito, packed with seasoned ground beef, jack and cheddar cheeses, and more. The deluxe Del Beef Burrito, now at a new low price, $1.99 at participating stores.
Now life isn't boring like it used to be. Del Taco is the place for me.
Del Taco, not the same place, not the same thing. Soon to be open 24 hours a day.
Maybe you've done more than just think about a career in modeling, acting, or commercials. Listen to Michelle Mucciaroni, a working Faces International client.
Why did you come to Faces International?
When I finally decided that I wanted to get into acting and modeling, I was really busy with my job,
And it's something that I couldn't just go around to different agencies, and I didn't really know where to get started. I've gone to different schools and things like that, but nothing got me started.
Tell me what you've done since you've appeared in Faces International.
I've done 3 different commercials. I've worked on 2 different movies. I have done probably 25 different print ads. My book has been out for 6-7 months now, and they're still calling me even now.
Would you recommend Faces to friends and family who want to get into the business?
I think they're wonderful. They're my family. I mean, I feel like a queen when I walk in the door, always.
For your free evaluation, call 213-47-FACES. That's 213-47-FACES. Call now.
Dude, you've ridden Colossus 98 times in a row. Just 8 more for the Magic Mountain Championship.
I can't.
Oh, come on, dude. You're not just doing this for personal glory.
I'm not?
No way.
Whoa.
Yeah, did you know roller coasters are being built all over the world?
No way.
Way.
Really?
Yeah, and soon French dudes, Chinese dudes, even Russian dudes will try to challenge us as the world's most fearless thrill riders.
Whoa.
So we need to train hard, and we need to train a lot.
Way whoa.
And our best chance to do as many excellent rides as possible is during Magic Mountain President's Day holiday.
Why?
They're open for the whole 3-day weekend, bud.
No way.
Yes way. So when you go on all the happening rides at Magic Mountain, remember, you're not just doing it for you and me, dude. You're doing it for America.
Whoa.
Plus, I got money on you, dude.
No way.
Way.
Magic Mountain is open on Monday. Plus, you can save $5 on general admission with a coupon from participating Round Table Pizza restaurants.
Hi folks, this is Richard Blade, and I am really excited because I get to go to this hot new club that Katie Manner's been telling me about. She's been there the last couple of weeks. I get to go there this Friday night. It's Club Cruising. So join me for the best in K-Rock dance music this Friday, February the 9th at Club Cruising. We have lots of fun planned for you on Friday night. There'll be contests, there'll be giveaways, there'll be K-Rock music, there'll be great people to meet at Club Cruising. It's 18 and over, so come on down and party all weekend long at Club Cruising. Club Cruising is located on the corner of State College and Lincoln in the Rolf's Kmart Shopping Center in Anaheim. If you need more Club Cruising info, call 714-991-6750. And remember, you can join me, Richard Blade from K-Rock, at the all-new hot Club Cruising this Friday night. Really looking forward to seeing you there. So come on down to Club Cruising on Friday night, party with K-Rock, meet some great people, and get your kicks at Club Cruising with me, Richard Blade, this Friday. I'll see you at Club Cruising tonight. It's going to be great.
From the director of Top Gun, Kevin Costner. He always lived his life on the edge. That's where he found her.
Do you feel the way I feel?
I think I fell in love. But they never knew their love would lead
Forget about right or wrong.
to revenge.
Worse!
Revenge. From Columbia Pictures. Rated R. Under 17. Not admitted without parent. Starts Friday, February 16th at select theaters.
106.7 K-Rock, KROQ. In studio with us is Morrissey. And how do you feel about the fact that anytime you do an interview, whether it's this one or one of many others for print, people will concentrate so much on you, the person, rather than the music of Morrissey, because you're such seem to be an enigma.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it's very good unless it's a negative interview and it's very personal, and then it can be quite hurtful. But I'm happy because at least it means that people are taking me seriously in that field. So yeah, I'm very happy.
Yeah, because it seems that most of the questions I've been asked to ask you by kids in the street and hardcore fans for many years are not about the songs, because they have the songs, they have the lyrics, and they understand the meaning, even if they don't understand the exact wording. They understand the meaning behind the song, but they want to know the person, Morrissey. They want to know about the childhood, because they've read that you had real happy when you were very young, and then a tough adolescence.
Well, not that happy. Slightly happy. Yeah. What can I say about that? It's just good because, I don't want to be a pop star in a disposable sense. I don't want to be on that conveyor belt moving along and this year's fashion. I don't even want to be a pop star or a rock star. I really like music, but there's a hell of a lot about the music industry I don't like. And so I think it's quite unique to feel that way.
Is your success almost a contradiction to itself?
In a sense, yes. In a sense, it is. It's a bit surprising. I very rarely come across people who make records who feel quite the same way as I do about the whole world of, you know, interviews, records, etc., etc. Yes, I feel slightly slightly apart, shall we say, and happy to be so. Happy to be so.
But when you are like by yourself or with your peers and you're talking about the music, don't you feel that you have much more to accomplish? I seem to have read this in some of the books, that you don't feel that success that you've achieved so far is as large as the music merits.
Well, I know that certainly in England, where obviously I spend most of my time, that I feel that the records are completely gagged, shall we say. They're never on the radio, and, you know, 21 singles later, even though they enter very highly, there are very rarely television requests. So I think definitely I stroke the Smiths, are artists who have definitely been blacklisted because we are just simply not frivolous. So it has its slight controllable cons, I think.
Why do you think that is? Is it because the people at the Beeb and the ILR and all that are too old, they don't relate, or they just don't bother to listen?
I think they're definitely too old, but also they want to control it, and they want to control you, and they want to tell you what to do, and they want you to be very subservient. And if you're not, you're a troublemaker, you're very awkward, and here I am.
Well, from the very beginning, I mean, with your first days with the Smiths, the band set out to be different. I mean, back when all the bands had, you know, names like Spandau Ballet, for example, you wanted to go for the basics, right?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't something that was terribly planned. It just quite naturally happened that we were quite different. And I find that most people who make records, they really secretly are desperate to make the money. And they are secretly desperate to be as large as humanly possible at any cost. And even if sometimes they pretend they're not. But quite sincerely, I've never been like that. I've never done anything at all for money. And in the music industry, making records, that's unique.
Okay, now another side of the music industry and blacklisting came up recently. The latest excuse 25 in the BBC's Book of Excuses, is witchcraft and supernatural influences.
Yes, I was told that I would be destroyed by my own record, which sounds actually reasonably exciting. But it didn't happen. I'm still here and I'm quite healthy, but...
And that was, of course, Ouija board. I mean, did you try and tell them that that was nonsense?
Well, why bother? You know, they don't have ears, so no. I just stayed at home and mourned the passing of another record that was not played.
Ouija boards, would you work for me? I have got to say hello to an old friend. Ouija board, Ouija board, Ouija board, would you work for me? I have got to get through to a good friend. Well, she has now gone from this unhappy planet with all the carnivores and the destructors on it. Ouija board, Ouija board, Ouija board, would you help me? Because I still do feel so horribly lonely. Would you Ouija board, would you Ouija board, would you help me? And I just can't find my place in this world. Well, she has now gone from this unhappy planet with all the carnivores and the destructors on it. Oh, hear my voice. Oh, hear my voice. Hear my voice. Hear my voice. The table is rumbling. The glass is moving. No, I was not pushing that time. It spells the table is rumbling. The glass is moving. No, I was not pushing that time. Happy planet with all the carnivores and the destructors on it.
Building still standing. We played the record and we're still here. It's KROQ-FM, Pasadena, Los Angeles, world-famous KROQ. In studio, we have the world-famous Morrissey. And on the line, we have a lady who is one of the fans, I said, who's made the trek to Manchester. And her name is Megan. She's also been responsible for the fact that we'd always get the record on the day it comes out in England. Somehow she has this, connection. I don't know how. She could smuggle almost anything, but she managed to get the CD singles through and to KROQ the same day. Megan, you're on KROQ with Morrissey.
Hi, you sound great. It's really good to hear from you. I do have a question.
Yeah.
Several of your songs have lyrics that suggest a sort of conflict of hope and desperation. Is that more a thing of your youth, and are you leaning more towards the hope?
No, not really. I don't want to sound flippant, but no, not really. And, this is probably just a very loaded question. I can't really answer it in a swift, eloquent sentence. I do despair a great deal of time. That's all I can say, really. I feel disappointment a great deal of time in the human race generally. So if you really want the truth, I don't really have that much hope. And I'm sorry if that's not really what you want me to say, but I don't.
No, that's all right. Well, just another thing, if you can say hi to Wayne, he's listening. He's my fellow Morrissey devotee.
Oh, hello, Wayne.
Okay, sound great.
Thank you. Thank you, Megan, and thank you for the package last night. Megan gave me this huge package about that of Morrissey information and books and questions.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah. Now, talking about hope and despair, let's get very broad all of a sudden here.
Yes.
Rather than a personal note, how do you think about the world situation at the moment? Is that going to affect your writing? Because
I think it does, yeah. I think it affects everything I do. As we all know, and as we hear people say all the time, the world is in serious trouble environmentally. I don't really think it can be saved, and I don't really think that governments want it to be saved. Thatcher is ready to start digging in the Antarctic, etc. So I don't really have that much hope in world leaders at the moment. And so therefore, how can the world possibly be saved?
Do you find it continues to be a contradiction when you see the Eastern Bloc scaling down and the countries becoming independent rather than united, and yet forces like the British nuclear arsenal and the American forces saying, well, we can't scale down, we have to build up to make sure they don't come back?
Yes, but there's just a myriad of contradictions, and I think one of the worst culprits is actually space travel for pollution. That's really quite frightening. But everywhere you look, I feel that the world is generally falling apart. And I'm sorry that I can't sit here and, you know, talk about MTV and the wonders of pop music, but some of us aren't like that.
I mean, just down the coast, we're 40 miles from here. We're suffering from a 250,000-gallon oil spill on Huntington Beach.
It happens all the time all over the world, and it's horrific, really horrific. And I would imagine that we really don't know the half of it.
There's a lot more that goes on.
Well, I feel that the companies that are responsible should also be heavily penalised, and they never are, especially in England. They never are, because obviously they have investments in television, etc., and they can't be touched, quite like the meat industry. So sometimes I feel the protesting voice is the lone voice. Sorry.
No.
Okay.
No, I was going to say, talking of television, when you grew up, you spent a lot of time reading.
Yes.
I read that you read and now the kids are growing up and very rarely turning to TV to books because they have television and Nintendo.
The what? Television and what?
These video games.
Oh, I don't know about them.
Yeah, well, Nintendos are like getting more and more popular. Do you think that they're being fed like a pablum, they're being fed a bill of goods, in other words?
Well, I think they are, but I think children throughout the generations of the world change in any case. I mean, 100 years ago they were probably chasing sticks, which it wouldn't be a very good idea if children these days were chasing sticks. So I think that's just the way the world changes and moves on. I don't know whether it makes them more interesting individuals or less interesting. I really don't know. But television, obviously, quite naturally, I find quite destructive.
Are there moments when you're alone where you get depressed and cry to yourself?
No, never. No, never.
No?
No. Well, I think, doesn't everybody? Yes?
Yeah, I think everyone sits there in the corner in the end with the light out and says, well, what the hell can I do?
Yeah. I think people have their somber moments throughout the course of every day, and I think because we all pretend that we don't, and because the world that we live in denies these feelings, people become even more frustrated. This is why sometimes I think that people who aren't terribly happy quite like to hear voices within pop music who aren't ecstatically, ludicrously happy. So sometimes I think it's useful to be quite truthful and to speak the truth and to be quite honest. It isn't a matter of being a moronic person.
Is there a place, though, in the world of pop music, in Morrissey's world of pop music, for people such as Madonna and Janet Jackson?
Well, not for Janet Jackson, definitely. Madonna, I think, is slightly different because I think she's proven herself to be quite an independent individual person. So I think she's done quite good. But for Janet Jackson, as far as I can see, has no talent at all.
She just dances, right?
Badly.
Okay, we're going to go and play another Smith song here. And this one is Ask.
Oh.
Do you want to set this one up? What is the story behind Ask to you when you wrote it?
I think Ask, I was feeling I was saying really to people I knew, you know, speak the truth, say whatever you want to me, don't pretend, just put it on the table, as it were, whatever it might be.
Shyness is nice, and shyness can stop you from doing all the things in life you'd like to. Shyness is nice, and shyness can stop you from doing all the things in life you'd like to. So if there's something you'd like to try, if there's something you'd like to try, ask me, I won't say no, how could I? Coyness is nice, and coyness can stop you from saying all the things in life you'd like to. So if there's something you'd like to try, if there's something you'd like to try, ask me, I won't say no, how could I? Spending warm summer days indoors, bring us together. Nature is a language, can't you read? Nature is a language, can't you read? So ask me, ask me, ask me, ask me, ask me, ask me, because if it's not love, then it's the bomb, the bomb, the bomb, the bomb, the bomb, the bomb, the bomb that will bring us together. If it's not love, then it's the bomb. Then it's the bomb that will bring us together. So ask me, ask me, ask me, ask me, ask me, ask me.
That's Ask from The World Won't Listen. Smith's right here, 106.7 KROQ, and everyone's asking Morrissey to sign autographs, and amazingly you are, because I say amazing because no one at the station had any physical experience of meeting, and we had no idea what you would be like in person if you'd be this, you know, very, very dark person who wouldn't want to
Which of course
be outgoing.
Which of course I am.
I mean, actually, very everyone knew you'd be intelligent. That's the one thing, so...
well, I try not to hide it.
Now, I got to go quickly to the hotline because my mum is calling. My mother, who's from Torquay, who's over visiting. She's a fan of yours, and she wants to ask a question. Mum, you're live on KROQ.
Oh, hello. I didn't realise that.
Yeah. So you're talking to Morrissey here.
What part of England do you come from?
I come from a place called Manchester in the north.
From?
Manchester?
Oh, yes, yes. Oh, wet and windy Manchester?
Well, not always. Sometimes it's just wet.
I'm quite interested in your ethical views.
Yes, why?
Yes, the fact that you are a vegetarian, obviously.
Yes, it's a great struggle. It's a great struggle. I also don't like eggs, which narrows it down very much. I live solely on bread and water, practically. But I'm very healthy, so...
And a couple of other things you might be interested in. You've gone in the past on record as saying you don't drink and you don't do drugs.
I do very little, actually, yes. I'm almost perfect.
So he's a shining example. He's the son you should have had, Mum, instead of me.
Oh, dear.
Well...
there must be a flaw in this wonderful person.
I assure you there isn't.
Okay, I'll see you this afternoon, Mum. I'm going to hang up on you now. Goodbye. Now, have you ever drunk?
Yes, I do quite like beer and things like that. I quite like vodka. So I'm not totally teetotal.
Okay, well, we have to bring that packet up from my car then. we hid it from you just in case we didn't want to upset you. This lovely lady who sent a card sent a big basket of Corona beer and some tequila over for you.
That will keep me busy tonight.
So you've got to get that out of the car before Morrissey leaves. All right, we will take some more calls from listeners coming up, but I've got a couple more questions. Who's your favourite contemporary actor? Because I know actors are quite important in your life.
Yeah, they are. It's very hard. Contemporary. I'm not really a terribly modern person. I like lots of older people. I don't really know that much about 80s film or even 90s film, so I don't really have a contemporary favourite, to be honest.
No?
No, I can't really think of anybody. But lots of old people who are no longer with us and things like that. I like older films.
Do you like the fact that Albert Finney's starting to have a resurgence here in the States?
Well, it's interesting because when he was popular in the 60s, he did not go to America, and he had lots of offers to go to America. And I always found it really interesting that he didn't go. He stayed in England and he did all the things that you're not supposed to do. But I suspected that one day he would eventually go, and he did when he did Annie and things like that.
Yeah, now he's just done 2 original movies for HBO, which are currently playing.
Really? Yeah, I don't know about that. But yes, Albert Finney, since you mention it.
Yeah,
but he is contemporary, and he's also, you know...
Yeah, my mum mentioned Manchester again, so let's go back to that. Has the north of England coloured your songwriting and your outlook on life? Because, they say that, the North has a very different outlook to the South of England because of the unemployment that hit there before it hit the South.
Well, obviously, as you'll know, there's a very big difference in England between living in the north and living in the south, and especially under Conservative governments, the north is generally neglected. And so, yes, therefore, I think it does. It has coloured the way I feel. And I came, as a teenager, I came out of the late 70s on unemployment and all that kind of thing, which obviously cannot help to colour the way you feel about the world. So, yes.
It's amazing sitting here and talking with you because I can feel your intelligence and your quickness. Because, I interview a lot of artists, and a lot of them, it's tough for them to put the two sentences together. And it makes me wonder what would have happened if you'd have, say, been born in London, if your parents had had money and you'd gone to university. I wonder what Morrissey would have been doing instead.
It's a good question. I mean, I really don't know. I really don't know what would have happened if I'd taken any other course in life, even if I had not made records. But we can ask that about all of us in this room, and who knows?
Because you never had an ambition to do anything apart from... Well, I mean, you want to be a journalist, right?
I did, yeah, but I didn't really have a very good education, very little education, in fact, so that it made it very difficult. And also I was based in the north, and as you know, the music press in England is generally in the south. So I had everything stacked against me.
Okay, we're going to play another song from you. This is Suede Head on KROQ. Suede Head, of course, Morrissey. I just want to read some words here before I put Morrissey back on here. This is from Douglas, I think it's Jordan, and he says, Morrissey, I write poetry and draw. When I write, I listen to you. When I draw, I listen to you. My dream is to start my own band and to have you hear some of my music. You are my idol. When I think of true legends, you are the only one who comes to my mind. I truly do love you. Remember, you will always have friends in this world.
It's very touching.
When you get things like this and hear things like that, does it make you want to play again and, come to Southern California like tomorrow and do a concert?
Yes, it does. Most of the mail I receive is from America, and most of it is very much in that vein. And it's all really, very generally, really very moving. So I just really also want to thank everybody who came here today. It does mean a lot.
Yeah, because you mean so much to them, and to have you respond the way you are, I think is almost shocking in a very positive way. They're saying, well, a person can be deep, a person can care, but it can also retain that humanity, which is so important.
Yes, well, I can't answer that, Richard.
Now, another song that I really like is Every Day is Like Sunday, and that kind of relates to my growing up in England. Torquay, those November, December, January days when it's really grey and you think, God, Hitler should have bombed this place.
And the July days.
Yeah, really. We have summer, I think July 23rd is summer in England, that one day if you miss it.
Right, between 2 and 10 past.
Yeah, did you ever go away for the holidays when you were a kid?
I went away twice, yes. Once was to Blackpool and once was to a place in Devon called Tavistock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we weren't terribly wealthy.
So it was a tougher holiday, right?
Well, it wasn't very tough, no, but it wasn't terribly glamorous.
You didn't stay at the Imperial Hotel 5 stars and all that kind of stuff?
No, not quite. The Imperial tent, I think it was.
How about your friends at that age when you were at school, in between, say, 12 and 17? What were they like?
Generally very witty. Generally the bright sparks who weren't possibly terribly athletic, but terribly quick, and the ones who were always in trouble. But I was very athletic, which is something that I never personally understood, which isn't really quite in keeping with the kind of personality I had. So I was chosen to do represent the school in lots of ways for 5 years in secondary school. But most of the friends I had were quite like me, just quite cynical but useful.
So you used to win in the 100 yards dash and all that kind of stuff?
That's right, yes, I did.
Did you used to have to train? Did you have to put up with those awful English sports teachers?
Yes, I did. Yes, I had a terrible time, and I would have to go to places very far away to represent the school in football and basketball and things like that, and I never wanted to do it. But if you're athletically capable, you have to do it.
Otherwise, see the headmaster.
You just get, beaten to death.
Is that what Headmaster Ritual's all about?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Another great song with a real driving line on that one. Let me ask something which I know is probably still sensitive. That's Johnny Marr. I heard that basically the Smiths formed one day when Johnny just came to your door.
That's right, yes.
And then how